Yeah. But dude, it was working perfectly fine. And then
All right, it's okay.
like that little symbol that's on your router when it's flashing, it
yeah.
means you're gonna have a shitty internet connection. I've got a lot of flashing going on right now. It's rapid.
Welcome back, people. You know who we are. We are the Bushmen of the IBL, following our favorite team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. We see you coast to coast, you millions of followers out there. We came back to bring you the heat. A little bit of time off, but that just allowed us a prayer for another hot Bush banter. It's July 12th. I'll pass it over to my Bush crew here. Ray, Papa Bush, you do have a birthday coming up of significance. We'll get into that later, but are you here?
Gentlemen, I'm here, ready to rock and roll. Another week down of IBL action. Let's go. Let's pass the mic.
Absolutely. And we're going to pass it down to my bro with his twin in the background there, E. Hill. They call him the Iron Man of the Bush. This guy never misses a game. We know all you people in Christie Pitts and the team and the opponents hear him every week. The Ginger Bush. Elliot Hill, are you here?
I am here, and so is he. Bit of an up and down week for the boys, but I like the way we fought. Let's go.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I am G Hill. Like I said, I'm kind of the ghost Bush of late. I haven't been able to make it down to games, with work and vacation, but you boys will obviously take care of me and, fill in what I missed. So, what's good, boys? There's been a couple weeks here since we've done it. I thought maybe we'd touch on, the last one we did. We had the Lazo interview, Jonathan Salazzo, our favorite third baseman and favorite conductor in all of the railways of Canada. What do you think of that interview?
I mean, I loved it, but I also do want to throw out that Ryan Eakin, I see you, sees the beautiful interview we do with Lazo and then immediately schedules him for the Leafs podcast. Come on.
You respected. He can be respected. I don't know. I thought from that interview, him only getting a pin for working there for 10 years, I found that quite hilarious. And then also that his dad is posted up in the bush nearby us. And Ray, you actually knew who he was somehow because you're like, some cool guy smoking a cigar, and that must be Salazzo's dad.
It's been great, man. I mean, that interview has been all the chatter around the bush, around down the third base line. People were loving it. We got into his head. We cracked him. I mean, that's what the people want, man. They want to hear those good time stories. And who better to have on than one of our first favorite players of the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Man, the train has left the track since that interview. The dude's on a 5-game hit streak right now.
Okay, let's just talk about that. Man, he is just on a tear since he's had all this media coverage. I definitely think he's just, brushing his shoulders off a little bit, hooking those train cars up, just laying the law down on those baseballs right now. Two huge shots in the last couple games. Unreal. And one shot in London, which is basically like an MLB park. So, attaboy Lazo. Way to see you striping it.
Attaboy Lazo, attaboy Lazo.
And also, like on that end too, I wonder how many of the CN lads watched that interview, man. If Lazo's now a big deal out on the rails building trains.
Of course he is.
100%. Yeah. So we see you, Lazo. Keep it up, man. You're absolutely killing it. I guess some house cleaning items. Elliot, the big talk of the week has been, which we'll get into the games, but has been the chance that came from the hillside when Grant Tamani hit a 2-run bomb so clutch in that game. And you had the bush chanting out, "Hot boy summer."
That's right.
Hot boy summer, which actually took off. Basically, everyone involved with the Leafs on their social media. We saw Nagorski hashtag hot boy summer. We saw La Russa Gastro do a hot boy summer. He mentioned it in his Hillside blog.
He titled it. He titled his very wonderful Hillside blog, which everyone should go read, "Hot Boy Summer." That was the title of this week's article, and the nuts and bolts of it are Grant Tamani, one of the great players who has been there forever, posted this picture on Instagram of himself in Paris, Ontario, at like a bit of a distance, just kind of standing in the middle of the road. And the tagline for the picture was "Hot Boy Summer" with a picture of a sun.
So we had to put that in the back pocket, man. We were waiting for that first jack.
We were waiting. This is probably like 3 weeks ago that he posted it, and we were like, amongst the bush, we're like, we're gonna save it for a really big moment. Tamani's gonna do something big, and we're gonna yell it at him. Took a little bit of time, but that 2-run shot to seal the deal on Sunday really was well worth a hot boy summer chant.
Right in time for the summer heat. So Tamani, we called you Hot Tamani, like Hot Tamale before, but I think Hot Boy Summer is definitely gonna stick. Ray, you mentioned some breaking news, which, you know, a lot of Leafs fans here, you know, we're under the impression that our big time closer, the Undertaker, Dustin Richardson, you know, he put in work last year and almost blew out his elbow just trying to get the Leafs, you know, to Game 5 of the finals. This year, you know, you could tell there's something a little bit off, and in a road game, you know, he actually left the game with an injury, and we all thought, you know, he could be done for a long time. But Ray, what's the hot update here? Did you hear that Dustin Richardson may be back?
Whisper through the bushes that he might be coming back in a couple weeks. He was there, suited up with the boys on Sunday, battling through the heat, just staring down the Hamilton, just getting in their heads. And you know what? I love it. I love to see him out there. He's so great for his inspiration to the young guys, just his pointers and stuff. You can see him just taking charge right there in the bullpen. And come on, we need him down the stretch. So anything we can do, if he needs us to bring him ice packs, just hit us up. Hit us up.
No. We all know D Rich just needs his pregame burrito and then absolutely ready to go.
Definitely some large Chipotle burrito.
Speaking of which, we should try and get Big D on the show. Maybe for our next epi.
Well, 100%. That was the whole thing. Is we were talking with him, like we were like, yeah, we'll get you on as soon as we can. And then we thought he had suffered this catastrophic injury, and we were like, okay, give him some space, let him kind of come down. But if he's hungry for a burrito and his arm's feeling good, like the boys will have him on.
We see you. So Dustin Richardson, we're calling you out. Don't know if you actually watch this pod or even have a computer to really watch YouTube. I feel like he's kind of caveman style. He probably has like an old Fido phone and maybe even like a pager or something. I don't know, but like we see you, Dustin. Get up on this interview. But maybe on the pitching front, you know, obviously Leafs with a new signing here, a new arm that's come into the fold. Franklin
we actually got a couple new guys that have come into the fold since you've been away,
I'm missing a lot. Well, I'll touch on this guy because you guys saw him live. Franklin Hernandez, you know, Dominican, drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers. You know, he mainly played kind of Arizona Fall League ball, but that's a hell of a league. And he's only 26. So, you know, what did you guys kind of see out of him in that short stint that he had last week?
He had awesome command, and he was throwing smoke.
Yeah.
So you know what? Just any of that heat that we can get in our bullpen on the mound coming in after a couple innings, that's what we need, man. We need to just shut it down in the late innings, lock it down for Nagorski to come in. Our boy Amara, you know,
who's been dealing.
He's been dealing that off speed to brother Justin. The boys love it. We see it all the time. We see those high curve balls, placement shot. He's even switced up his delivery a little bit, a little bit of that.
He's going a little Cicatello. Is he getting a little submarine?
Just a little Cicatello. He's got a little Cicatello.
Speaking of which, Justin Cicatello, we know that you watch this because you're a huge fan of the Bush. The border's back open, man. Come on down. If you're not playing, have some beers with us. You know, we'll have a friggin' Peroni or whatever Italian Moretti beer you want. We'll line them up.
No, he's definitely a Bud Light guy, man. He lives in Buffalo.
100%. Some other things, obviously.
Hey, we should mention our other big
sorry.
Go
ahead.
Talking about Castro?
Angel
Castro. Castro. So, you know, he's a pitcher. He pitched in the majors. He pitched for the Oakland A's. You know, we're going to dive into it. We do the game recaps. You know, he had a bit of a shaky start to his debut, but he's really starting dialing in. You can tell that this guy is an absolute workhorse. We'll get to the numbers in a bit, but this guy, he lays it down.
And he was actually the cause, apparently, of that scuffle we had with Barry. It was him barking from the bench at guys after.
I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I like the energy that he's bringing to the team. He might have gotten chewed up a little bit his first outing, but he's there. He's there. He's hyping up the boys. He's in the bench. He's getting into it. I like the noise. I like the chatter. That's what the Leafs need. Total Leaf. Oh, yeah. The Bush loves him. He's going to settle in. He's going to settle in. I can tell.
Zero concerns.
Built like a fridge. That man is stout and will not be moved off that mound. So I bet if Tops even came out to move him, he'd just say, try me. like a sumo wrestling contest.
Just a barrel off. Just the best barrel wins.
Just no arms. Just barrel to barrel.
Barrel to barrel push. Like they have like the strongest lower backs in the world. Just fucking flex that core. But how's the you are the Iron Man of the Bush guy. Never misses a game. I have noticed, just through our social, and shout out to everyone, give us a follow at the Bushman1. Like we said, we've been seeing so many people kind of contribute and add us to their stories, and we always want to share it. But I've just been noticing from afar that, it sounds like it's getting really active at the pits. Yeah. Like everyone seems to be, mentioning that it's super loud. What are you seeing down there at field level?
Well, it's just been I from what I've noticed is there's just been a lot more engagement in the whole pits. Like the game, the Wednesday night game where Christian Huck was pitching against us, and the whole pits was just exploding in noise as we were all yelling, "Oh!" We tried to line up, but it was great to see.
What's interesting about that is, and after the game, I even noticed on the social, players are even messaging us like, "Man, I love you guys." Like, Boss, we see you. Boscarino, he gunned a guy down when it was a road game. But I was watching that particular Huck game, and it sounded like, honestly, when you watch like NCAA college basketball, like Duke versus North Carolina, and you see when they bring it into the opponent's zone and the people are just like, oh, like I could just hear this vibrating noise coming out, and that just brings a smile to my face.
It's been awesome. The last few games have honestly been fantastic for the energy in the pits. I'm not going to pump our own tires, but it is Bush banter. The Bush effect is coming in hot, multiple errors, multiple crumbles, and that's what it's all about.
Incredible.
Just getting into it.
Yeah.
There is no doubt in my head that our ballpark is a highlight for all the teams coming in, knowing that they're going to hear the noise, knowing that they're going to get it. They all can't wait for the friggin' nickname that's going to happen. And it's beautiful.
The thing that I love about it too is it can go one of two ways if you're a player, right? You either are feeding on this negative energy and you tee off, or it goes the complete opposite way. But what I do love at the Bush is when the other team, gets an early lead, we got the Tyke high fives, the little league high fives after a home run in the second inning. We all know no lead is safe. We chip away at their mental game. We break them down, and the Leafs always rally. So,
wow. And the best part too is you see once the starting pitcher starts, getting like frazzled, when they start warming guys up in the bullpen, the guys in the bullpen are warming up, hearing us scream at their pitcher, and he's like, "I gotta go in there," and then it's Crumble City.
I love it. Well, why don't we get into the games? I just we've obviously there's been quite a few since the last time we've done this, but I thought I'd just kind of restrict it to the last 5 games played by the Leafs. So why don't we start Sunday, July 3rd after Canada Day? Leafs 4, Guelph 3. What's to note of this game? I did miss it, boys, but this was the Claudio Custodio game where he teed off on the Leafs, I think, for about 18 strikeouts. And was this not the Vinicio walk-off game to make it 4-3?
It was the Vinicio single off of, I believe it was Deans.
Deans. Yeah, it was Deans.
Yeah.
Deans.
But I will say this much. Custodio, he racked up 18 Ks. The boys were swinging at anything that came their way. But he has now walked, I think it was last time I checked, 72% of his walks on the season have come in 2 games at the pits. He walked 6 the first game, and it was 4 or 5 the last game.
That's some Sunday deep stats for you people.
Yeah,
72% of his walks this year have been at the pits in 2 performances.
Yeah, and so like he looked mortal and immortal at the same time. So
that guy is an absolute freak of nature. Yeah. He's tossing 145 pitches in a game, getting 18 strikeouts. I think his strikeout count up right now is like 180 or something.
We'll get to that. We have some stuff towards the back, right. not to do any teasers.
But so that was the game though that I think we've settled on Dalton Pompey, the star signing of Guelph, who's in the outfield. I believe we are now referring to him as Palm K because he had a tough day at the dish, a couple of strikeouts. So Palm K was the champ.
Palm K, drinks the Palm Bay. Yeah, I think he went 0 for 6 that game. So that's tough.
He had a hit and a walk, I think. But
whatever. I'm just making up stats. Here we go. So the next game, Wednesday nighter. The Wednesday night games, folks. I will tell you, if you're ever able to make it out, the nice thing is, I guess, around our age, and Ray can relate to it, is a lot of our friends are starting to have kids and they're quite young, and the dads are down for the Wednesday night games because right around 7, the kid goes to bed. You give your wife or whoever a kiss on the cheek and you rip to the game. 7:30 start. Leafs versus Kitchener. This one was a wild one, folks. Yeah. Kitchener ends up winning 14-12. They basically exploded with a 6-run 8th. Lazo, Castaldo, our boy Detective McCaskey went deep. Was this the Lazo Grand Slam game?
No.
Okay. But what do you boys?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was the Lazo Grand Slam game. It was 5-2 after the first inning. Okay.
That's right. Yes. I showed up after that.
Yes, it was. There was 5 home runs by the Leafs. It was an absolute slugfest battle, back and forth, going at it. We had it in our grasps a couple times. The boys were making noise. There was one point in probably the 8th inning where the back catcher just could not make a throw to the pitcher for the life of him, to the point where the pitcher literally had to walk off the mound, walk up to the back catcher about 5 feet in front of him, and basically let him just put the ball in his glove because they didn't want to give him a chance. There was just noise coming at him from all angles.
I'm pretty sure that we scored 2 runs because he couldn't throw it back to the pitcher.
Absolutely.
And every time, like, it was a throw that even the pitcher got, it was like a wild swing of the arm to stab this ball that was just absolutely amazing. And we weren't even yelling at him.
I was on vacation in Bermuda, and yes, folks, I am still, no matter where I am, tracking the Leafs. And I was watching the game on YouTube, and it was so weird because the game was tight, like you said. And I think they had pulled ahead, like you said, it was the 8th inning. And the catcher just goes to throw it to the pitcher and he misses it. And even the announcers are like, oh, like, that was weird. And then literally the next time he went to throw it, he missed it again. And they were like, I'm pretty sure this guy's injured. So the Leafs ended up, like you said, they got in a few runs on errors. I think he had 3, even the catcher, in that inning. And Lazo, we do love you. You stole second, but he got a little bit excited.
This is the thing I wanted to talk about. Lazo. Back to the podcast, all right, Lazo? We love the steal. We know we asked for it.
We did ask for it. We did ask for it.
But you know what? I could tell right away when he made that first steal, he wanted it so bad. He wanted it so bad. And you know what?
It's tough.
The Leafs base running has been a little bit questionable. The sends from thirds and the steals in general, second onwards.
No, but that's
an honor of Papa Tops.
I know.
That's an honor of our coaches and manager and player, Damon Topoli's dad, Peter Topoli. We call him Papa Tops. We love him. We hope he's doing well. Shout out, Pete. We loved when he was just pumping the arms, sending guys. So we can't bitch now
You're
when
right.
they start going.
You're right. They learned one way.
It's only it's only right.
I'm convinced that when Tops is at third base, like regular Tops is at third base doing third base coach, he's got Papa Tops on a microphone in his ear, being like, just send him.
He's watching the stream.
True.
He's watching the stream. Okay, so then we move to Thursday, July 7th. The Leafs go into Barrie. Like we were saying earlier, Angel Castro, this was his highlight performance of the year. It was a little bit shaky to start, but he really dialed it in. I think he finished off with like over 135 pitches.
Yeah.
He got into late in the 8th inning. The Leafs unfortunately lost 8-5. This was another just unbelievable IBL game. It's just what makes this league so fun. Lead changes back and forth. There was a little bit of a dust up between both teams. I think it was late around the 7th inning. You said I think Angel Castro was involved in that.
That's the word on the street is Castro was barking from the bench because he loves the boys. It's been great to see him there as a guy with his experience. He's been helping out a lot of young pitchers. But the fact that he's just into the game, he's on the bush, apparently speaking like Spanglish, so it's just a mix of Spanish and English, and just grabbing guys. I love it. Like, I'm so excited.
Plus, like 115 pitches deep into the game, still ready to go out for the 8th, fired up. Probably arm is just like throbbing beyond all control.
I love it. I love it. I will say I made a note here, and we've really given it to this guy before. Grieveson, hell of a performance him there in closing it out. This guy's a vet of the IBL. He was just throwing cutters inside on the hands and he was doing damage. But we'll keep moving along here. So Friday, July 8th, the Leafs 13 at London. They take them 13-10. Lazo gets a jack. Vinny gets his first. Vinicio, we see you, gets his first home run. Castaldo, 3-run jack. Castaldo gets a home run. Our pitching was done by Jacober Wells and Adam Mara, who's had a great year this
had
year.
One of the wildest catches I have ever seen in my life on the live stream. It was insane. Everyone thought it was definitely a drop ball. Total over the shoulder,
he is
full length of the outfield, center field stab on the warning track. It was unreal.
And actually, the gentleman Jared and I can't remember the other guy's name. The two guys who are biking to every IBL stadium. They're almost done. I believe they have 2 stadiums
Jared
left.
Jared and Joe.
They were at that game.
Yes.
Saw that stab live in person. They said it was amazing.
They
took them 8. They took the GO train to Hamilton, and it took them 8 hours to bike from Hamilton.
Wow.
Not even London. Brantford, and then on to Hamilton.
I love it. The other note from that I did like is we roughed up our old pitcher who we used to love.
We got
Pedro de los Santos. You took a beating from the boys, so I thought I'd make mention of that. So then finally, Sunday, July 10th, the Leafs win it 4-1 at home in the pits against the Hamilton Cardinals. The pits was active, as from what I can hear from afar. Hot Boys Summer game. Grant Tamani with a 2-run shot when the Leafs were up 2-1. What was the energy like down there, boys?
Hot.
It was really hot. Yes, that is a 100% bona fide affirmative. And you know what? Just another back again. Just a classic Bush performance. We got off right early, right into the third baseman's Petner's head, right into the pitcher's head, right off the bat. Nobody was safe out there. And you know what happened? You know what? Petner was hearing it, but he did strike a massive shot. I think it was a double. It might have even been a triple.
It was a triple. Run scored.
Yes, it was a triple
to make it 1-all.
So he was hyped up.
But they ended up bumping him off.
They had to pull him off at third base and move him out into left field because
he had a tough air. He had this play, fielded the ball over at third base. He's got the runner at first, no problem. Fires this throw that was so off target that the first baseman didn't even move his glove. He just shrugged as the ball flew 15 miles left.
He's trying to be all fancy guy, scoop it up on the run and goes to throw a Lazo.
At the end of the year, at our Leafs gala where we give out the trophies to the boys, best pitching performance, best hit, we're gonna track and tally who had the most errors at the pits, and we'll come up with some kind of award for just the guy who just melted at the pits. We'll think of that. Okay, boys.
I also want to point out that Hamilton had the skinniest guy ever, probably 102 pounds, named David Ortiz. So immediately we had to start calling him Skinny Poppy, which then quickly became Skinny Pop about a half an inning later.
Skinny Pop.
And we got after him real good.
I like it.
So he made a couple of tough plays too, and he wasn't feeling that Skinny Pop.
I like it. Okay, boys. Well, we're coming up against a couple more things here, so we're gonna go back to the player trivia because we're a little bit deeper into the season. I want to see, what you guys actually know and are tracking about the IBL. So this is player stats trivia. So
I like it.
Who is the batting leader at 433?
What's the Leafs?
Oh, wait. The buzz in will be Hot Boy.
Hot Boy. And what are we talking?
Elliot
full IBL or just Leafs?
Yeah, full IBL.
IBL. Elliot got it.
IBL.
Hot Boys Summer. I'm buzzing in on that. I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably fucking Cleveland Brownie.
It's
no, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's like a back catcher for Welland, I think.
No, both are wrong. He got edged out by his teammate, Robert Mullen. Never heard of him. It's a very plain name, but no, London.
Ooh.
All right. Who's
I think he's also, is he not a back catcher as well, Robert Mullen?
No idea. We got 5 minutes. We got to get
started. Right, so let's keep the train moving.
Let's go. Who's tied for the league home runs with 9?
Someone is tied with Brownlee.
Hot Boy Summer, Brownlee. And I'm gonna say
3.
Sean Riley.
Nah. Ray with the steal.
Wow. Someone
this guy may have just been mentioned 30 seconds ago. Do you remember his name? You don't remember.
It was so plain. I don't remember.
Is it Joe Mullen?
Robert Mullen.
Rob Duncan.
All right. We're moving on.
It's such a plain Jane name.
Oh my God, you guys are ridiculous.
Who's leading? We're coming for you, plain Jane.
Shut up. Who's leading the league with strikeouts with 123? And I'll note, he's 41 strikeouts ahead of the second place person.
I'm giving
it to Ray.
Definitely Custodio all day.
Claudio Custodio with 123. Who is second with 81? Who's also 15 ahead of third?
Ooh, that is
3, 2, 1.
Hot Boy. Arias?
Yes, 81. And then
that's who I was thinking.
Third is Owen Boone with 66. It is wild that
Loney's up there,
Custodio has double the strikeouts of the person who's in third in the league with strikeouts.
Dude,
okay, ERA. He's the only person with a sub-2 ERA in the league.
Hot Boy Summer. It's probably Custodio.
No, it's Arias with a .95.
Oh, I was going to say a point. Wow, that is insane.
Guy is killing it. Okay, boys, we're going to keep moving it along here. So the week ahead, Wednesday nighter, we're not sure if this will launch before then, July 13th, the Leafs playing Barrie. Wednesday night, people get out. There is fireworks in Barrie. If they bring that kind of noise to the friggin' pits, we are going to get after them.
Guess whose favorite grocery store is going to be there tomorrow? Tyler Plumpton himself.
Plumpton's there. You're going to hear it. Friday, July 15th, their next game. The Leafs go into Brantford to play the Sox. And then on Sunday, coming back to the pits, this is the Levi Natali game. Yeah. London's in town. Levi, Ray's son. Why don't you let it go, Ray?
Let Ray
go. It's his kid.
We're also the team that was playing the day Levi was born.
Absolutely. 1 year ago today, it's just a twist of fate that we shall meet London once more. My young son will be there. The first birthday party. It'll be the loudest. It'll be the dustiest. It'll be the hottest first birthday in the history of child's being born. But you know what? It's going to be a memory. And everybody come over, say happy birthday to him. I'm going to have a little shade tent set up, not on the hill. I think we're going to set something up down at the bottom there just for the children to play. But the dads and the boys will be up top yelling. So come over, say happy birthday. It's going to be a great time.
No, Ray, didn't you hear? Carrie is going to be hanging out with us that day. You're down with Levi.
Well, the best ever is like we said, Levi was born during a Leafs game. Ray was checking in with us like literally right after he was born. Jonathan Salazzo hit the go-ahead home run, and he gave us like a happy, glad that you've had a baby, I guess, video. Ray, you gotta give Levi to Lazo and have him like Lion King Simba, hold him over third base and just be like, everything the light touches can be yours.
Absolutely. He's pretty much Uncle Lazo to my son.
Yeah, at this point.
That's awesome. Well, we're about to wrap here, boys. Hell of a fucking show. People out there, we love the support. We're glad that the Bush is growing. Everyone seems to be having fun. Come out to the games. Wednesday night, come out Sunday, Levi's birthday. Go Leafs, go.
Go Leafs, go.
Can't wait, boys.
Cheers.
Rock
Cheers.
on.
Gee, you look like you're out of breath. Just racing to the end.
I'm
Just
sweating.
racing.